is wrong. Now it's time to sing along. Day is night alone. Hold on, if you feel like letting go. When you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. Everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. Don't throw your hands. Oh no. Don't throw your hands when you feel like you're alone. No, 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 you're not alone. You're on your own in this life. Days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. 'Cause everybody hurts, and everybody cries. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts sometimes. So hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Everybody hurts. Oh. So most of you guys have seen there's some papers on your table that if you guys remember special memories of Margaret, you're welcome to write those down. So if anybody'd like to come up and share those, that would be great. And we'll leave the next 15, 20 minutes open. If you'd just like to come up here and share those memories. And you're welcome to leave those on the table so that we can distribute them within the family. That would be wonderful. Thanks.
For a lot of you who might not know the whole family, that was Anne, Margaret's oldest sister, who was just up here. She did most of the organization for this, and she and her mom did the decorations, along with a lot of help from some really great friends and relatives. It was her brother playing the guitar, Susie Suarez singing. She graduated from Mac High. We weren't planning on anything formal, but Anne brought the PA system, so if people want to use it, that's great. One of the reasons we're having a celebration is that Margaret handled her illness so well. She wasn't diagnosed. Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you, technician. She wasn't diagnosed until late January, and we went around to a bunch of clinics because we really didn't believe it, and of course we always wanted to find somebody who would say, yeah, that doctor's wrong, but that wasn't it. And Margaret accepted it a lot more than anybody in the family ever did. And she was great, upbeat, had a sense of humor. The only time she ever cried was in the hospital when things hurt a little, and Cindy over here and Jim over here were right with her the whole time in the hospital, and they really helped her through things, and I can't thank them enough. And the hospice group, many of whom have left now, but boy, they were great. I suppose one reason why I'm not grieving as much as I thought I might is that Margaret was really accepting. I mean, she would try to make other people feel better when they came in. And Margaret would try to keep other people from feeling sad and crying. About a week before she died, she said, I guess I've done everything I'm supposed to do now, so it's probably time. And the day she did die, April over there, was with her for a while, and Mrs. Mackenzie, Luella over there, and Luella and I were sitting with her, and at one point Margaret started to get up, and she said, I want to go home. And I said, well, you're home. She said, no, I want to go home. And then a few hours later, she ate a little and drank a little something, and it was bedtime. I went to bed in my bedroom. Her mom, who'd been sleeping in her room several days with her, was in the room, and her mom heard her stop breathing, and she got up and held her hand, and then came in and woke me up, and I really think Margaret chose to go when she wanted to go. So, as I said, it's really hard to really grieve, leaving a big hole in many of our lives, certainly mine. But she handled it well. She knew it was time to go, and by golly, she decided when. And it's so nice seeing all of you here. All of you who've touched her life in one way or another. I certainly appreciate it. We'll leave the mic open if anybody wants to say anything, and if not, just continue stay here and talk and drink. And our host, Mark, has said he'll keep things open as long as we're here. And thank you all.
Hi, I'm Teresa. I am a friend of Mary's back there. We've been friends for years, and a friend of Meg's through Mary. She allowed me to call her Megals. Is this loud enough? Yeah? Okay.
You can override it anytime.
And they asked me to get up here and speak about her. So that other people might be encouraged to share memories of her also. And I have quite a few memories of Meg. She has been a very, very special person in my life. Her sense of humor and her willingness to go on adventures with me was always fun. I push and tug and pull, and next thing you know, she'd be on some wild adventure. We took my car to Philomath, which is near Corvallis, to this empty school parking lot, and attempted to teach her how to drive a stick shift. And boy, was that fun! Meg was so wonderful. We did a lot of confiding in each other. She was quite an amazing confidant, and vice versa. And I always felt so honored that she was willing to share with me about her family and her life and her feelings. And we'd go out for hamburgers, and we did this wonderful driving experience, and it was so great because she actually was doing it. She was driving a stick shift around this parking lot, and I think then she finally realized that she was doing it and couldn't do it anymore. And it was great. By the time we got back home, I think both of our legs were shaking. We had such a good time. And she and Mary would come up to Olympia to visit with me, and before she got sick, we went up to Saturday, or the Pike Place Market in Seattle, and we were having such a good time, and we were all just so high on the sunshine and the people and the sights and buying good things and eating good things, and there are a lot of street singers on the sidewalks just singing music and making music, and they got such a great sense of humor, so we were dancing down the sidewalk, and it was great, clowning and funning, and she was laughing at me for dancing in front, like down this sidewalk, and so I turned around to tease her, and next thing I know, I fell off the curb and into a car that was over there, and that provided her great entertainment. And so I've always been very, very honored to have been able to entertain her whenever I had an opportunity to, because she had such a beautiful laugh and a beautiful smile, and she brought so much joy to my life, and I am always going to be grateful for the joy that she brought to my life. And I'm going to miss her for my own selfish reasons. I do miss her for my own selfish reasons, knowing that she's now free, and she left the rest of us here, and I don't like that. But I'm very happy for her, and I'm very happy for all the wonderful memories that I was able to have with her, and grateful that I had an opportunity to share parts of her life with her. She was quite the shining star. Thanks.
I was Margaret. I'm Barbara Jelinek, and I was her senior English teacher, and also she was my aide for 2 years. And so every day we would be together, and most of the time we would just talk. She was very, very fond of her father, and I might pass this compliment on. She said, "My dad is so good he'd make Albert Schweitzer look bad." And another thing, she retained her sense of humor. I visited her maybe about 3 weeks before she died, and I said, "Boy, you're a skinny little thing." And she says, "Yeah," she says, "but next time I lose weight, I'm going to do it the Jenny Craig way."
I'm Llewellyn. I'm a friend of Harry's. I've had a privilege of being able to substitute for Harry since 1986. And so I've gotten to be with him in his classroom, both for him and with him, because I also subbed for Chris Heath. And Kathy, too. I see you back there, Kathy. I think it was a gift that I was given, that I got to be with Meg the last day. She couldn't talk, and she expressed to her dad that she didn't have the strength to talk. But I knew that it was important to her to have someone's presence in the room. Something that surprised me and gave me a lot of hope was that there were books all around the room that were open. Harry had been reading the Oz series to Megan and had even been called by the bookstore that day about one of the books that was coming in. And it gave me a lot of hope to see those books lying open around the room and to know that there was a series there that was going to be read to her. I also felt a real sense of peace that day for Meg and for myself. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. Some of the wonderful things that I remember about her too was her sense of humor. I remember her coming into class, checking in with Daddy in the LRC room between classes and at lunchtime. And I remember her cheerful greetings and her smile when she'd come in, and frequently she would have another student friend with her. And she'd be sharing that time in the room with us or outside the room, but she always had that little check-in time. And I also remember her worrying at great lengths about math tests and studying for her math tests. And I also know she loved her kitties. And the day that I was with Meg, one of her kitties had gone away that day and didn't show up for a couple of days after she passed. And I just thought, well, that kitty knew what was taking place and didn't want to be there. That was a real pretty white one. And then she had another little kitty that just stayed there in the room with her that was just as independent as Meg and just as self-confident as Meg too. So that was just her little personality of all of her little kitties and what they did. It was real important to her. Something else I remember about her appearance is her beautiful blonde hair and how soft and fine it was. And frequently when she would come into the room, I liked to touch her hair. She knew that. I also close my eyes and I can see Meg walking home from school when she couldn't get a ride from one of us sometimes. And she would sometimes come in the room after school and wait to see, who was going to go where and if she could get a ride. And the last day, particularly when I was with her, I remembered her long, slender fingers. She had beautiful, beautiful hands. And her long, slender fingers, and how she was touching her eye with those beautiful fingers. And one of the really fun things, and probably Therese, I think, talked about her going out for hamburgers. And I remember her coming into the room often when she and Daddy were going to go out to dinner and being really excited about where they were going to go and what they were going to do. And I want to thank you, Harry, for letting me know Megan.
Okay.
Well, my family knew Meg almost as long as she was around, even in Mary's tummy. So, I guess I remember when they came over for Christmas. I had just started teaching with Harry in 1978 fall. And they came over for New Year's, and Mary was about to pop. And 2 days later, we had a new girl. And so that was always, that was her entry into our world. And we have Easter at our house every year. And Meg was always the champion on the collecting of the eggs. So we left her a little egg over there with a message and a quarter from 1979, so that she'll know that we're thinking of her. But also, I remember she always came at Christmas too and enjoyed all that. She loved sweets, and so she'd try all the things that we made. And she and Sarah spent a lot of time. My daughter Sarah's up there, and she was 2.5 years older than Meg. So Sarah has these wonderful memories of kind of taking care of Meg and reading to her and entertaining her and making sure she was okay. And they grew up together, and it was like another big sister, like Anne, only she was a little closer to her age. So Meg will always be a part of our life. We were going through pictures, Sarah and I, the other day. There are many, many pictures of her in our collection of family pictures, because Harry and Mary and David and Anne and Meg are part of our family. So we have many wonderful memories, and I am very grateful that Sarah and I got to see Anne, Meg a couple of days before she died, and we're just so glad that we all got together and that Meg and Sarah got to talk and share some things together. So those are our many wonderful memories of her.
I'm Linda. I'm short. My memories of Margaret, I'm just going to read this because otherwise I'll forget what I wrote. I first knew Margaret as Mr. Chandler's daughter, because we had kids that graduated and Harry was their teacher. But I first knew Margaret as Mr. Chandler's daughter, the young lady with the shy smile. However, I soon grew to know Margaret as Meg, who so graciously gave me the privilege to call her dad my dad. After time, as our friendship with Harry grew, Margaret's shyness shed, and she shared herself with us and always welcomed us in her home and her life. Margaret gave me a beautiful wedding gift. She didn't object to Dad giving me away at my wedding. And in the short time I knew her, just 4 years, I saw her grow and become quite a lovely young woman with a sparkling smile. And that's how I always remember her.
Thank you, everybody. If anyone wants to share, fine. Mary does. Okay, Malik, Ann, and Malik, you may have noticed, if you read the obituary, is listed as
Margaret's stepmother. Now, although I admire Believe greatly, we've never been married. She and Mary have been partners for a number of years.
I knew Meg from the time she was 9 years old. And when people talk about memories, it's more impressions that I have. When I close my eyes, I can see her. People always say people live in other people's memories, and I never understood that until now. I never understood how alive a person can be in your memory. Movements, gestures, certain ways she laughed. I've even asked her about a few things since she hasn't been in the physical realm, and she answers me. And I think the thing I remember most is the quality of. It was very peaceful to be around Margaret. She was a very calm, peaceful person. And for somebody who's a little hyper like myself, it was very calming to be around her. I really could feel myself relaxed. And Harry, I wanted to tell you something. This has been a really wonderful occasion, but there has been one thing missing. If there is a memory of Margaret that comes up, and there's something missing here, and I brought it though. It's a pizza. It's a Hawaiian pizza with extra pineapple, and Margaret really liked it cold. And this is cold, and this is for her. Is that a sign? She's going for the pizza. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There, she's gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that's all. She is just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side. And she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined post. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone at my side says, "There, she's gone," there are other eyes watching her coming and other voices ready to take up the glad shout. Here she comes.
While Mary is going up to the podium, I would like to say that the gentleman who supplied Margaret with Hawaiian pizzas for so many years is Robert here. And,
Yay, Robert!
and I would all suggest you go down to Papa Murphy's. Thanks. She always looked forward to Robert and her Fridays.
Okay, you give a minute. As Harry mentioned, we knew about 6 months before Margaret actually made her transition that she was in the dying process, and it gave me a lot of time to think about what it was going to mean for me. And a passage from the book of Genesis kept coming back to me. It was a story of Jacob, who, the story goes, he was sitting down and sent his family on ahead of him before the break of night. And that night, someone, and the scriptures doesn't say exactly, God or an angel or something, came down and wrestled with him until daybreak, who, seeing that he could not master Jacob, struck him in the socket of his hip, and Jacob's hip was dislocated as he wrestled with him. And as the day dawned, the messenger or God said, "Let me go, because day is breaking." And Jacob answered, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." And I thought a lot about this passage in the last 6 months, because I had the privilege of being with my daughter during this process, and I was not going to let it happen without a blessing. Why would anyone do that? The last 6 months have been beautiful and painful and touching and sad and happy. We had all sorts of special memories. We got to go to Hawaii and, as I say, wade with the dolphins. She wasn't up to swimming, so we waded with dolphins. People opened their homes and their hearts and their pocketbooks. My work gave me 100 hours of earned leave because I just started there, so I was able to take as much time off as I could. And mostly this time was simply filled with grace. I can't even speak. The last 2 days were wonderful. Perry talked a little bit about it. The night before she died, I was sleeping in her room, and she kept waking up and saying things like, "Mommy, I'm preparing for my SATs again." And I'd go over and say, "You know, you've already passed, Margaret." Then she'd go to sleep and wake up, and she'd say, "I'm clearing my throat. I'm auditioning." And I'd say again, "You've already passed. You passed the test, Margaret." And then later she woke up and she said, "How many errors did you make, Mommy?" And so there's this whole understanding of somehow going into a transition. And then at the last one, she woke up and said, "I dreamt that monsters were chasing me and I called your name and you came." And I told her I always would. And so the entire 6 months has been filled with grace, and I have wrestled with whoever. And I will always limp. I think any person who loses a child will always limp. But I wrestled a blessing from it. I wanted to just share several blessings that I've gotten. I think one thing that really hit me in the last 6 months and put my whole life in perspective is non-reactivity. Now, many of you don't know me, so those of you that do will enjoy this. Until 6 months ago, I didn't realize how reactive a person I was. You could ask anyone who knew me, and they would say I was very blind. But I've become a lot less reactive in the last 6 months. It's my so what prayer. So what last week that my car broke down on Waverly Drive in the middle of traffic and I had to go call the auto club and stand in the hot sun for an hour? So what? You know, it just paled in relationship to what was going on with my daughter, and that's a blessing I want to keep, to really put stuff like that into my so what category. The second one is a willingness for me to stay a lot more in the present, you know, to not think about what was past or what I could have done or what I'm going to do tomorrow, but to stay right here. I had a short little thing that I got on the email a few days ago. The monks of a neighboring monastery asked the master's help in a quarrel that had arisen among them. They'd heard the master say he had a technique that was guaranteed to bring love and harmony to any group. On this occasion, he revealed it. Any time you are with anyone or think of anyone, you must say to yourself, "I am dying, and this person too is dying," attempting the while to experience the truth of the words you are saying. If every one of you agrees to practice this bitterness will die out and harmony will arise. So I've had a lot of chance to practice that the last few months too, and I hope that's something that I can keep for always. And then I think the third one, I experienced with Margaret, and I know some of you are here because you know me and didn't know her. She was not only my youngest child, but the one I think that I was always able to be more vulnerable and more gentle with, because she kept allowing it in. She didn't seem to go through the teenage rebellion part. And so I took a 3-day retreat the weekend before she died, and I was grieving the thought that that kind of vulnerability that I was able to share with her would be lost because I could only share it with her. And it came across so clear during that 3-day weekend where I wrestled again with this messenger that her gift is not that I could only show it with her, but that now I can show it with everyone. And every time I reach out and show that vulnerability directly rather than indirectly, and today rather than making somebody know me for like 10 years, it's Margaret speaking through me. And that's something else I want to keep going. And as you go about your business tonight, I would ask that you think about what thing that you can take from this and claim as your own. You know, what you need to wrestle with to come out and say, you know, her life and her death did mean something, and somehow I will be changed from this encounter, and I will claim a blessing. When we were in Hawaii, Margaret brought this book to me. It's called The Runaway Bunny, and evidently it's like a really, really old book. I think it was published in 1932. I'd never seen it before. And almost every night in Hawaii, she wanted me to read this story to you, to her. It's a very short story. I'd like to end with this and then a short song that was our song. One day, I have to, of course, change the male bunny into a female bunny, but, you know, the women in the audience know how that goes. Okay. Once there was a little bunny who wanted to run away. So she said to her mother, "I'm running away. If you run away," said her mother, "I will run after you, for you are my little bunny." "If you run after me," said the little bunny, "I will become a fish in a trout stream, and I will swim away from you." "If you become a fish in a trout stream," said her mother, "I will become a fisherman, and I will fish for you." "If you become a fisherman," said the little bunny, "I will become a rock on the mountain high above you." "If you become a rock on the mountain high above me," said her mother, "I will be a mountain climber, and I will climb to where you are." "If you become a mountain climber," said the little bunny, "I will be a crocus in a hidden garden." "If you become a crocus in a hidden garden," said her mother, "I will be a gardener, and I will find you." "If you are a gardener and find me," said the little bunny, "I will be a bird and fly away from you." "If you become a bird and fly away from me," said her mother, "I will be a tree that you come home to." "If you become a tree," said the little bunny, "I will become a little sailboat, and I will sail away from you." "If you become a sailboat and sail away from me," said her mother, "I will become the wind and blow you where you want to go." I was privileged that last 6 months to have that role. This story here ends with her coming home and the mother giving her a carrot and climbing into the mother's arms. I had to stop in the middle because I had to go my daughter home. And now I want to play the lullaby that I sang to her. It was actually, I don't know words to songs. I can only hum. And I can't sing, so I'm not going to do that now. But I have a tape, and it was the one song whose words I knew, and it became Margaret's and my song. And I sang it to her throughout her life, and especially the last few months and the week she died. It's called Lullaby by Chris Williamson. It's a very simple song. I'm going to turn it on, and it goes through it 3 times. And after the first time, the singer says the words right before, and I'd ask you to sing along.
Like a ship in the harbor, like a mother and child, like a light in the darkness. I'll hold you high. You rock on. I'll cradle you deep and hold you while angels sing you to sleep. Like a ship in the harbor, like a ship in the harbor, like a mother and child, like a mother and child, like a light in the darkness, like a light in the darkness. I'll hold you high. We will rock on the water. We'll rock on the water. I'll cradle you. I'll cradle you and hold you while angels sing you to sleep. And hold you while angels sing you to sleep. Like a ship in the harbor, like a mother and child, like a light in the
I'll use the microphone. I need to read something from our neighbor, our next door neighbor that have been neighbors since as long as I can remember. She didn't feel like she could get up here like I could. So I'll read for her. This is from Sybil Seward. It's a quote, an Egyptian saying, "To speak of the dead is to make them live again." And the next thing I wanted to say on a positive note, as we're all on that note, I'm sure, to thank Mark of the 3rd Street Grill, and he's getting all embarrassed, but he has been so gracious and so helpful through this whole thing that it's just been amazing. It's been so easy for us to do this here, and I just wanted to thank him, and if everybody would thank him really quickly, that'd be great. So on the last note, as I'm done with my saying, Mark, my memories of my sister Maggie are pretty endless. From when she was born to having a sister instead of a brother, sorry Dave, changing her diapers, cutting her hair crooked, dressing her up and playing house, all those silly things that sisters do. I never imagined it would end so soon. My most memorable memory is Christmas time and Christmas mornings. When we opened all of our presents, she was always so eager and so full of energy, I guess because she was the baby of the family or something. She couldn't wait till her turn came around again, and she was so excited. Always begging to open another gift before we got back to her turn, and probably because she was the baby, we let her open another one, and because she was so full of life. Maggie really was my hero. She was very smart and pretty. And a lot stronger than I ever imagined my little sister to be. And a lot of that probably went unnoticed because as sisters we obviously disagreed and fought a lot. But now with Maggie gone, I have my memories, and the last item that she gave to me basically was a dolphin wind chime that she purchased in Hawaii when she was with my mom. And I hung it outside my bedroom window. It was for my birthday. So I could hear basically what she's saying whenever the wind blows. I know she's in a place where she can be happy, and I'll miss her. So here's a song I picked for Maggie to play with all the memories that I have and all the memories that I hope that you guys all have with her to share.
Cross your fingers.
While Mark gets that started, I also want to thank the McMinnville Education Association for supplying the flowers. That's great.
Thank you guys for all being here.
You always walk, stay behind. would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish I could be. Oh, I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.
And thank you everybody for helping us enjoy the time Margaret spent with us.
Feel free to stay around and have something more to drink or whatever. Mark is willing to keep us around for as long as we need to. Thanks.
Good.
It's more happy times with each other.
I should
You know, you sort of miss the ones that came before.
They changed so much.